Hey there folks, Serenium T here, and welcome back to Sunlight Scream! Freako, Casabia, Keymailer, disclaimer, etc. In the last part, we hung out and went to the library, and then we were in the car with our brother, and then we got in an accident, now our brother's gone. And we met this cute nurse, then we met the cute cop, because of course they have to be cute. Anyways. Senior Police Officer Elizabeth Reynolds. Sorry for your loss, kid. I heard what happened. I'd like to get on the case. Hello, officer. Don't know what to tell you. Did you find out anything about the car that hit us? Alas, no. Our cameras are all broken in that part of town. Actually, I was going to ask you questions, but I take it you don't remember anything. But I already told the nurse. There was a big black Jeep. There were no other cars in the neighborhood. So it's not just a coincidence he was aiming straight at us and didn't just throw off. Please find this killer. Any other cameras in town that might have them on them? Elizabeth unwound her braid thoughtfully and walked across the room. Killer, don't be so hasty. I realize you just lost a brother, but could have just been a drunk driver who lost control or faulty brakes. Then he got scared and drove off without waiting for witnesses. Definitely not a drunk driver. Otherwise, how could he drive away normally without attracting attention? If the brakes failed, he wouldn't have been able to get far either, and the road was all clear. He could have easily avoided the accident. I'm sure it's just premeditated murder and you don't want to do your job. Getting hot again, almost shouting every phrase in her face. I think it's more obvious than anything else. Why can't you just appreciate the facts? Easy, kid, easy. Accident, yes. Crime, yes. But murder? You've been out for days. Don't jump to conclusions on a hothead. Check cameras in nearby neighborhoods. Oh, there were no cars matching your description. So what, he just vaporized? I'll continue to look at more distant surveillance cameras as well as give benchmarks to look for. If it is murder, we'll get to the bottom of it. Do you know anyone that might have a grudge against you or your brother? No, I don't. There were some unknown, unpleasant personalities, but not that unpleasant. Maybe one of Chris's coworkers in that business that was passed down from his father? By the way, what about your father? Could he have any enemies? Died not too long ago. I don't know. Could be. Chris didn't tell me much about him. Oh, I'm sorry. It's okay. We haven't really talked since we were kids. And Mom? Also dead, which is why I moved away. Basically, all I had left was Chris, and he was taken away. Poor thing! I know your situation is unenviable if you just arrived in town, but try to keep your spirits up. Here you go. Here's my number. If you find out anything new, feel free to call me directly. And if I manage to find something, I'll contact you myself. Took the outstretched business card with her personal number and slipped it into my pocket. Hey, Will. Thank you for that. It's all so weird. It was bad, and now it's kind of getting better. I feel normal, and now it's all slipping back into the abyss. You can do it, boy. Lulu patted my shoulder encouragingly and smiled. Find people you can count on and stick with them. You're still in school. Which she might need to go back to be here. You're still in school, right? Yeah, I just got into university where everyone looks like high school kids. That's great! It'll give you something to keep your mind occupied. You'll need someone in a new environment. Get your mind off things. I'm sure they'll keep you busy. After looking at the time on her smartphone. Or kid won't keep you or myself. I got some errands to run. So you're fully physically fit, so you can go straight home. Again, weren't we wrapped like a mummy? She pulled on her cap and left the room. I sat motionless for a while, digesting what I had heard. Why am I doing this? What have I done wrong in this life? I don't know how, but I'm gonna find out. For that, I had to move forward. I jumped to the floor, my legs numb and stiff from days of inactivity. There are a few fumbling steps I made to the table and picked up my pills. Also some stack of papers with Scarlet's signature on it, apparently some medical certificates. So I could have it. I had a headache, so I took the first pill right away. It took effect almost immediately. Man, I want rid of headache in 2 seconds. I stretched my legs and was finally able to straighten up. I had to get home as soon as possible, so I left the hospital and went home. I came in completely devastated. The hospital is not far from home, about half an hour's walk away. It was already dark outside. I found frozen convenience foods in the refrigerator. I quickly heated them up and had a snack without much appetite. Before I went to bed, I decided to Google whatever. Actually, it's just now. the news on the accident. Maybe I can find some clues there. Open my laptop and search the news of that day. News sites did cover it. Unidentified man runs passenger car at full speed and flees. Terrible Sunlight City crash claims passenger's life. Driver fights for life in hospital, and similar headlines. Almost all have the same photo of our mangled car on them, taken some time later by a witness. Articles themselves wrote that people were shocked by such a serious accident. Even minor accidents are rare for our small town. I see nothing useful for me. Random comma there. I lay back in bed and stared at the ceiling. As Officer Reynolds seemed competent, even though she was skeptical of what I was saying. And it's better to take matters in your own hands. And then I felt like I'd be electrocuted. How could I have forgotten that? I felt like I'd been electrocuted. How could I have forgotten that? That midnight call, he said, if you hang up now, someone you care about will die. A cold chill ran through me. I jumped up on the bed. What if it wasn't a prank and the caller and the driver of the Jeep were the same person? So much for the evidence. Why don't I remember this at the hospital? I even have that hidden number in my call history. Shouldn't we call Elizabeth right now? What time do cops go to bed? Probably late. I jumped out of bed. Remembering where I put her business card, I rummaged in my jacket pockets and pulled out a slip of paper with a number. Trailed around my hand thinking, was it such important information? It was midnight. Can I call? Of course we should call. Even any little thing could help the investigation. This is not even close to being a little thing. Someone was directly threatening me, following me, switching my voice. Switching their voice? I dialed a number on my phone and waited. After about the 10th dial tone, the 10th ringtone? 10th ring? The phone was picked up and the sleepy voice of the officer was heard. Max, is that you? Do you know what time it is? Oh, I hope you have a good reason. I'm sorry, Elizabeth. There's more than good reason. Remember an important detail that somehow slipped my mind this afternoon. Whoa, don't talk so fast. Come on, take a breath and calmly explain to me what your call is. The day before, at night, a man called me. A hidden number. He openly threatened me. It was something about killing people close to me? Interesting. Who called you? What exactly did he say? Do you still have the number? The number was hidden. His voice was altered and muffled by some interference. I remember exactly what he said, but the gist of it was that he had a grudge against me and that he wasn't happy about my coming to town. Also, I think he was spying on me. Spying? What do you mean? He knew I was walking around the room. Maybe he just guessed? Or maybe he's a goddamn stalker who knows where I live. Now do you realize this isn't just speculation? Oh, I really want to believe you. But you know how that sounds. It's true. Like a strange coincidence. Even if it's all true, I have facts to work with. And this is just circumstantial evidence, you know? I understand. I shouldn't have called. That's where you're wrong. And even though you woke me up, which somehow I'm at my desk, showing at a desk, but I'm not happy about. Any information from you will be useful. And who knows, maybe it'll help when the time comes. That's pretty much it, if I could help in any way. Thank you for the information, and good night. Good night. Elizabeth hung up the phone. I absently put the phone away and went back to bed. My conscience was now completely cleared and I could relax. I thought about my immediate plans. Alright, I'll get back to studying. I hope I didn't miss much there. I should try to distract myself until I can come to my senses. Drifted off to sleep with those thoughts. In the dream, Chris and I were sitting in a pizza place, eating a large pepperoni, drinking Coke, and laughing. We each chatted merrily about something, but the words were indistinguishable. As Chris pulled a large piece toward him, he accidentally dripped tomato sauce in his jacket. A small red spot that was slowly spreading and growing in size. I stared at it, and it kept getting bigger and bigger. There it was, halfway down your chest, a huge dripping bloodstain. I looked up at my brother's face in horror, and said it was a smudged grimace. More like pizza dough or a smudge like artist canvas? In horror, and screamed as loud and hard as I could, waking up and sitting up in bed screaming. My heart was pounding like crazy. In my head, I didn't immediately realize where I was or that it was a dream. After scrolling through a brief summary of recent events in my head, I glanced at my phone. 5 minutes to my alarm. Great. Having a quick breakfast and getting cleaned up, I went to school? This time I navigated the walls of the university. On the way it just says uni. University quickly. When I slammed my locker shut, Sarah was already standing in front of me. Her green eyes lit up at sight of me. She smiled welcomingly. Oh, Max, hi! I wasn't sure it was you. I thought I was mistaken. Well, you know, in my recent events. I didn't expect to see you so soon. Oh my god, are you okay? I was worried. We all were. Hey, Sarah, it's so good to see you. I've been in the hospital for days and I just woke up yesterday. Oh, awful! I saw that you stopped showing up to class and then this terrible news. I guess it was you. Unfortunately. Whoever was in the car with you was my brother, Chris. I finished. Oh no, I'm sorry, but it's a good thing you survived. By the way, I don't ever you return, but we have another test today. What? Again? It was only a few days ago. I'm shocked. They're timing of the program. We can't get through the material in time. Well then, I'll have to hope for luck, I suppose. Not necessarily. This test will be less brutal than the last one. It'll be a full group and we'll sit in pairs. An idea how I can help you. If you want to sit next to me, there's still a seat vacant. I'll explain more on the spot. And your deskmate? Still sick. Oddly enough, she's been moping around longer than you've been in a coma. That's good for us right now. I guess so. Thanks for the suggestion. Anyway, will you have lunch with me tonight? Today? We could join our group? We join the rest of our class? Our friends? What? Of course, I wouldn't skip this. Good for you. Missing period. The girl winked at me and disappeared among the crowd of students. I'd have to get to know her better, especially if she wanted to. There's still time to spare before the test itself. Today, I arrived earlier than I should have today and was in no hurry to get anywhere. Samantha's sitting on the windowsill alone, reading a book. I should probably go say hello to my modest pink-haired friend too. Walked over and sat down next to her. She flinched in surprise when she knows someone beside her. Oh, Max! Hi, I didn't see you there. Yeah, hi. Sorry to scare you. Just want to say hi. What are you reading? Something for the test? No, just reading a book. That's why I was downward, tucking your book into her purse. How do you know about the test? It's coming up pretty soon now. Our Slayer told me about it. I didn't expect to get back to some kind of change right after all those passes. Oh, speaking of which, how are you? I was worried when you stopped showing up for class. When Sarah found out about the accident and Leon told me, what a nightmare. I'm glad you survived. Not the best time in my life that can't be helped. Samantha looked away, embarrassed. You'll probably sit with her, won't you? I don't know yet. Maybe. It's an awkward silence. Did I say something wrong? Can't lie me? I don't know? Is it supposed to be like, I don't know? I just want to say that if you're worried about taking tests, you can sit down with me too. I've been studying for it and I can help you. Embarrassed. Samantha added. Okay, thanks for the offer. It wasn't a test I was concerned about, but the inevitable upsetting of one of the girls. I hated to upset Samantha, but I also told Sarah that I would think about it. Why am I so popular? Is it because of the accident? I can't say it's unpleasant, just unexpected. Before she left, I decided to offer Samantha something myself. By the way, after lessons, would you like to have lunch together? Sarah and I were planning on having lunch together. You could join us, it's more fun that way. Lunch with me? Her eyes She blinked in surprise. Yeah, you, me, Sarah. Maybe you'll bring Leon if he's up for it. Keep things interesting. You already have lunch plans. No plans. I just haven't been invited to lunch yet. Great, I'll go first. I was invited myself, so I'm just passing the time. I'd love to join you. Smiled and turned around and ducked back into her book. And then went back to her book. Alright, now we're talking. Okay, gradually move to the right room? A break, in between time is coming to an end. I'm just trying to rewrite my head, okay? It's hard. How many stairs? Someone came at me from behind and almost knocked me down. Leon! Bro, it's really you. I couldn't believe it. I thought you quit studying, follow my footsteps, go to school for a couple days, and that's it. But no, I found out about the whole accent thing, or Blair got everyone on edge. You just have a group chat online to keep everyone informed. You're as good as new, not scratch on you. Love you too. You keep bumping into me like that. You're gonna get bruises. Gonna get hurt. I'm gonna send attention today, but it's good to see you too. I was a nurse at the hospital. She sounded so young. Yeah, there's a nice girl who works there. Scarlett, I think, a little older than us. I'm surprised, God. There's a good taking a couple days off. There's a circumstance. I'll tell you about it if you'll join us. Our place, you've got it all worked out, haven't you? Well, if the girls are gonna be there, I'm in. Since you've already talked to them, you probably know the steps. Out of the running, not helping you with this. Suddenly a force grabbed me by the neck and pushed me forward. Leon was also pushed forward me and our foreheads bumped together painfully. I turned around in anger. Grant grinned in front of us. What are you two lovebirds gossiping about? I roughly broke free of his grip and stepped back. None of your damn business. And I think it's my bit, but it is my business or something. He crossed his arms over his chest and stood between Leon and me. I tried to sidestep him, but he shifted in sync with me. I think our conversation with Leon is over. He gestured to the classroom. I was about to follow his example and head for the entrance of the room, but Grant blocked the path again and shoved me in the chest. Look, I don't care what happened to you. If you don't want any trouble, it's just to keep your voice down, or you'll see the past events as flowers. I don't see you or hear you. I want to see you or hear you, understand? I'm a rescue. Mr. Johnson himself was hurrying into the classroom, at the sight of whom Grant tempered his ardor and slipped inside, and with him, and as did I. Little asshole. That hasn't changed a bit. Better not cross paths with him too much. I went in and looked around at the familiar faces. Grant positioned himself next to Nate, taking up almost the entire area of the desk with his body. Briefly next to Sarah, just like she said. She glanced at me, winding a lock of hair around her finger. Saw an open seat with Samantha. She glanced at me, but then looked away, meeting my eyes. In general, there were more empty seats in the classroom, as if a third of them had decided to skip the test. I think it was Sarah. Slayer, I choose you! After all, I promised her first. I hope Samantha's not too upset about this. Walked over and sat down next to Samantha. I pulled out my notes, or rather the small portion I've written down in my one class. Sarah saw the travesty of an outline and pursed her lips. Not much. Leaning toward me, she said, leaning towards me, it is what it is. There's not much you can do in a hospital. I smiled and shrugged. Johnson was talking about something I wasn't really listening to. And he started handing out test forms. Sarah elbowed me in the side. Here, watch this. We'll probably have different options, but I've got some stuff I downloaded before class. Pointing to her electronic choker around her neck. Once the forms are handed out, I'll punch in yours and right here on the display on your side will show the correct answer. Punch in yours and right here on the display on your side will show the correct answer choices. It's quite a system, like a smartwatch. Yeah, sort of. I hope they don't see us. It's a small screen, so the others shouldn't be able to see. It's worth a shot. Thank you for your help. Don't get ahead of yourself. You'll thank me if all the answers fit. Mr. Johnson came over to us and handed out 2 assignment slips. Took mine and quickly ran my eyes over the questions. Some I knew myself, some were intuitive, but most of the tasks and terms were new to me. Eric glanced down at my sheet of paper. The option number wasn't written down anywhere, but she read one of my assignments and activated something on her collar. How does she do it if she can't see anything? For a few minutes, she leaned toward me and spoke in a whisper. Look, I set them up for your questions. The correct answer will pop up on them at half-minute intervals. Doing my own thing for now. If there's anything you don't get to, just poke me, okay? Got it. I'll try to keep up. What was it? Middle? Mouse? Yeah. Okay. Sure. Anna scrutinized her device. She flipped her hair to the other side and gave me access to her neck and immersed herself in reading her test. The answer's number began to appear on the small display. I checked logically whether they could get matched, then circled them. Sarah sat thoughtfully, leaning over the form. She took the end of the pencil in her mouth and nibbled on it, running her eyes over the lines. I moved closer to hers, and numbers were too small to see. Her feet touched, but she didn't seem to notice at all. Well, warmth coming from the girl. What she's wearing? Some kind of pantyhose? Okay, stop. What am I thinking? I have a test to take. I stopped checking the logic of the answers and just transferred the options instantly to the form. Perhaps because of this time began to stretch somehow long, as if the frame changes not once every 30 seconds, but much longer. I convinced myself this was the reason I was more concerning the girl more than my paper. Probably looked creepy from the outside. I tried my neighbor's neck with an appetite, like some vampire. Everyone was absorbed in their own thoughts, and Mr. Johnson was solving some problem on the chessboard. Sarah tilted her head in my direction, and I inhaled the scent of her hair involuntarily. It was a pleasant shampoo scent. Bleh! Like lemon or something. Although each answer was shown for a long time, lesson itself flew by in no time at all. Early before the end, wait, wasn't it like dragging on? Whatever. I managed to finish my test by circling the last answer with a pencil. Sarah and I finished around the same time. She finished a couple more questions after me and put away her pencil and worksheet too, exhaling with relief. Moved to my side so as not to embarrass her unnecessarily. She turned to me and smiled. Will you make it? I've set an optimal delay so you can make it to the end of the class, but not too fast. It's great. Thank you so much. I owe you one. It's a classy device, by the way. Thanks. Designed it myself. Did I think to upgrade it further and add more features? Oh, IT goddess. I don't doubt your success. Me too. But you do it? Keep studying. It's a useful subject. It may come in handy. I don't know. Yeah, sure. I'll be sure to study the material I missed too. I don't want to be always amongst the laggards. Good for you. At this time, the class came to an end and Mr. Johnson went through and collected our tests. Well, see you then. I leave, but Mr. Johnson called me over. Max, come here for a moment. I went to his desk. Had he noticed my cheating? When I glanced in his direction during class, he was studying something on a chessboard, not really supervising the test. I didn't even bother with cheating. A small chill ran down my spine. You didn't have to bother with cheating. How's the test? Yes, directly. Normal? Answered everything, I think. I answered confidently, but my voice still trailed off. Good, very good. You know, I don't want to pressure you, and if you have trouble with the test, I'll let you retake it later. Should still show up to class. He doesn't know. My friends discussed my situation amongst themselves, but they didn't tell him. Sorry, I had an emergency. I was in a car accident. I spent some time in the hospital. For some reason, I decided not to mention my brother. I don't know why. Mr. Johnson frowned. I'm sorry to hear that, but here you are, looking quite healthy. Hopefully things will go smoothly from here on out. Hope so myself. So next, how do you feel about chess? Chess, it's okay. I know how to play, but I don't practice it much. Frankly, I used to love the game. I used to play a lot with Chris when I was a kid, but then I simply didn't have a partner and I can't remember the last time I moved pieces. Will you play a game with me? In return, I won't count your absences in the scoring. What do you say? Well, this is only for a short time. I'm fine with it. Satisfied with this answer, the teacher arranged the pieces and slid the board toward me. All I remember about the game was how the pieces moved, so I didn't think much about the significance of the moves. The set was metal and quite weighty, probably expensive. Why I was so obsessed with them that he even kept them in class. In a game, it's useful. It teaches you to think outside the box, to think ahead. The possibilities where at first glance there is darkness. Reading my thoughts, Mr. Johnson said this cryptically. Like they're writing a book, so it's like you get like the such and such said sometimes, and it's like it doesn't quite work with VNs. You have to word it differently. I've been learning math. Sure about that. Definitely pumps up your brain, which will be useful to you not just in one subject, but in all. He checkmated me pretty quickly. I didn't expect a result. He smiled and nodded appreciatively at me. Thanks for the game. It's just that I often don't have anyone to play with. During class, I saw you looking in my direction, so I figured you might be interested. Oh, you mean you saw... How did you cheat? How, you cheated? Of course. Rick smugly, but he clearly wasn't going to tell me off. I'll apologize. Don't really care. You were looking for a way out and you found it. I like that. You made up for it with our play. Henceforth, though, I'm still hoping for immersion in the material, not your classmates. Just because I'm not looking doesn't mean I can't see. Where there's opportunities, where there is darkness. Hey, Kingdom Hearts. Simpson winked at me enigmatically. Also just like, alright, we're pulling out the dictionary. Thesaurus here. Find the synonyms. Find the wonky words. I didn't even know how to react in his monologue, so I just sat there and absorbed it. I'll say it's bad, it's just sometimes the English is not good. We're getting a little, we have a little bit of creepy factor, but it's been more school. And high school, I mean university relationships. Well, I won't burden you and keep you any longer. You can go. If you want to play some more, come back at recess. At recess? At recess! Okay, goodbye. Right out the door. I like the part, of course, but there was something about him. Dangerous? Intonation? The energy? It's hard to explain. Well, we will go. Well, he's treated me pretty well so far, though turning a blind eye to my absence in my cheating. Okay, I'm just getting myself worked up for some reason. Rest of the lessons flew by quickly and unnoticed. The last one was physical education. Ready to bring my uniform after changing the locker room? I found myself in a large gymnasium. Oh, I guess we're going to PE. So we'll go to PE next time. Or something. This is high school. I swear. Thank you for watching. We will go to PE next time. And lunch, I guess. So, thanks for watching. Enjoyed the video. Share, liking, commenting, ads, or subscribing. We really enjoyed it. Consider supporting. It was an uncle. Consider supporting the channel. All support greatly helps keeping content like this and more. Find the links for that in the description below, along with links to me on social media. As an uncle. An uncle could be like 15. Thank you again for watching. And until next time, this is Radium T signing out. Bye. What's interrupting the ending? But an uncle. Bye.